Hello and welcome to Louise Singleton Creations. In today's video, see me using the paper Moth and butterfly collection from Let's Resin along with epoxy resin to create a beautiful moth mobile for my mum. And you hear me talk about my wonderful mum quite a lot in my videos, so this time you're going to meet her. If all that sounds great, stay tuned and enjoy the video.
Wow. Oh, that's brilliant.
So this first part that you're seeing was filmed just in case. It was actually never intended to be part of a video. I was just trying something, and my husband always says, film everything you do, because sometimes I do things and I don't film it just because I think it's not going to work. And then it turns out great and I regret not filming it. So I took my husband's advice and I filmed what I was doing because I had some leftover resin. And the amount that I had really wasn't enough to fill a coaster mould or something like that. It was just a little bit. And so I went to the first box in my craft room that I was stood close to, which was my Let's Resin Bits and Bobs box. And I found this pack of moths and butterflies. The paper and the kind of pearlescent, they're really pretty. And I hadn't used them before. So I thought, yeah, let's try covering one of those with resin and just see what it looks like. And I was also thinking to fold up the wings and make it more 3D. I knew I would have to flatten it out again, but I just wanted the wing to have that fold in it already so that when the resin was cured, it was easy to fold while it was still bendy. However, I didn't end up doing that. I ended up using them completely flat. So you can ignore this bit that you're seeing now. Like I said, I was just making it up as I went along. So here's my moth flattened out again, and I'm just covering it a bit at a time with resin. I think it was the fast cure resin. It certainly was fast cure resin when I did the second side, but this was just whatever resin I was using at the time, and I needed to use it up. It was already very thick because it was getting really warm. So yeah, I'm just carefully covering it up. And that's all I did. And I had more resin than I realised when I was doing this. It really didn't take much to cover up the face of the moth. And so I ended up doing all of the moths from the pack. And while I was doing it, I thought, yes, this is going to make a mobile. And not just any mobile, but a mobile for my mum, because she already had a butterfly one, which my brother had made for her, which you will see later. And it was on one side of her doorway in her conservatory. And I thought, yes, she loves a bit of symmetry. Let's make one for the other side. And instead of butterflies, we'll have moths. So once the resin on one side of all of my moths was cured, it was time to start on the other side. And by this time, I wasn't making it up as I went along. I actually had a plan in my head. And the plan was to use some nylon wire, or maybe it's not called that. It's that kind of almost see-through cord or thread. I don't know. It's about 0.5 millimetre thick, I think, and it's very transparent, and from a distance you can't see it. In fact, you probably can't even see it on this video. So because you can't really see it, I'll just have to explain it really well. What I've done is I've made sure it's long enough to have about 6 inches above and below the butterfly. I'm going to attach it along the centre of its body. And to attach it before adding my epoxy resin, I'm just using a couple of drops of UV resin, just because it's a nice quick way of keeping it still. And, you know, if you use glue, you're going to have to wait for it to dry. I suppose you could use hot melt glue. That would work well if you don't have UV resin. But I had UV resin and that's what I used. So when it came to putting all of these together, I discovered that really I didn't need the nylon thread extended from the top and the bottom of the moth. But at the time, at this moment, I just wasn't exactly sure how I was going to fit each piece together. I didn't know if I would knot the pieces together or what I would do. But you'll see later that I actually only needed the thread to be on one end of the moth. But don't worry about that, it will all become clear. So the resin I've mixed up this time is definitely fast cure resin from Let's Resin, and obviously, as the name suggests, it cures very quickly and it's nice and thick. I wasn't too worried about it curing quickly because I'm quite patient, but the fact that it's nice and thick made it perfect for this job because it didn't run about all over the place, it stayed where I wanted it, and so it wasn't too messy at all. And you know, for this project, there's not much more to show you. It was very quick, well, kind of quick, but very easy and simple. Not too many steps to it, so yeah, it doesn't need to be a long video, this one. Nice and easy to explain. I just did exactly the same thing with all of my moths, and as you can see, I've got them of all different sizes. Aren't they beautiful? And green's my mum's favourite colour as well, so this is perfect to go in her conservatory. So yeah, these have all got the thread on them, and you can't see it, can you? Which is a real bonus, I think, because if you wanted to, well, I'm going to use beads on mine, on my thread, but if you wanted to, you wouldn't need to put beads on at all, and they would just look like they were floating in midair, and I think that would be really cool. But I use beads, which you'll see soon. Here I'm just snipping off any little bits where it's, you know, just bled off the edge onto the silicone mat, which is one thing I didn't say. Always use a silicone mat, that way if it goes over the edge it's not going to stick to anything. So yeah, I'm just snipping off the bits where it hasn't, you know, stayed on the wings of the not butterfly, the moth. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm not very well at the moment. I'm full of cold and everything's a little bit of a struggle. But yeah, I'm sure you're getting the drift of it, aren't you? Just a case of snipping off the bits you don't want, and it was nice and easy. And I don't know if you noticed, but there's a few patches on these moths where I've missed the resin. It is a little bit patchy. It's definitely not perfect, but when you see it finished, it really doesn't matter. It still looks really good. Right, so now they're all tidied up and ready to be made into a mobile. I like how the nylon thread is anchored onto there by the resin, which makes it super strong, and it's also a strong thread, so I think it's going to last for a long time. So yeah, all I needed to do next was thread some beads on, and I won't be showing you too much of that. I used seed beads. It was very fiddly. I mean, yeah, it looked great when it was finished because they were so delicate and it just looked really elegant, but oh, seed beads do take a long time. Before showing you that bit, I'd already done some of them just to have a practice and to see what looks nice. And so there you go. It's a mixture of seed beads and some kind of crystal beads. So they look really pretty, and I just needed to do the rest. And so I attempted to show the threading of the beads, and I always have a little cringe to myself when I see close-ups like this of my fingernails, because yeah, I'm a bit of a gardener and a crafter, and all of that doesn't give you wonderful, clean, beautiful looking nails at all. But hey ho. You're never going to see me with perfectly manicured nails. It's just not going to happen. Anyway, here I am just trying under the camera to thread the beads. I'm very short-sighted and I like to have my eyes very close to what I'm doing. And so, yeah, it was not very easy for me to film the process, which is why I did most of it off camera. So now let me show you how I joined my moths together, and I went for the easiest option, which was to use UV resin, just like I did before, to anchor the nylon thread down at the beginning. This time I'm doing it all the way along the body of the moth over the nylon thread to secure it into place. And this is why I was saying in the end I only needed the thread to be coming down from the bottom of each moth, apart from the top one, which needed thread from the top as well to hang it up from the ceiling or whatever. So yeah, nice and easy. And so here it is, all finished, and it was one of those things, because it was so long it was hard to capture on camera, so I thought that this was the best way to show you, just to move along rather than taking a photograph. And you will see it in position at my mum's house very soon. But yeah, doesn't it look good? I don't know if you can see the pearlescent quality of these butterflies and moths, but it does work really well with the resin. It really gives it a sparkle. When I first received the set of moths and butterflies, I wasn't sure what I was going to do with them, and I've had them for ages without using them, but now I know. Wow, I'm so glad I had them. And so I made a little box so I could take it round to my mum's house and put them all in the box, ready for her to unwrap. And so here is my raw, unedited footage of me going next door to give it to my mum. Okay, let's go and take Mum her Prissy surprise for her conservatory. So, as many of you will know, Mum lives next door. So I'm trying to open the gate and hold the camera at the same time. Do you recognise the froggies? Yeah. Okay, so let's go around and see if she's about. And into the conservatory. There she is. Hello, Mummy. I brought you a surprise.
Oh. Oh, what is this?
Do you want to? I'll come and. Do you want to put that down?
Yeah.
So I've put it on the couch because it's easier when you take the lid off to take whatever is in there out. So if you take the lid off and then open the tissue. Excuse me sniffling, everybody who's listening, because I've got a cold. No, just a minute, Mum. Pull the string. You see that white string? Grab that. That's it, and then pull it up.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's brilliant. Oh, I can put it on the other side.
The other side of Richard's, that was the idea.
Oh, wow.
I know how you like your symmetry.
It's beautiful. Oh, you always amaze me. You never cease to amaze me, actually.
I'm glad you like it.
Oh, it's beautiful, though.
Good.
Oh.
You deserve beautiful things.
You what, darling?
You deserve beautiful things. And the colour matches your conservatory as well.
It does, darling.
All my viewers know that your favourite colour is green, so...
It is.
Yeah.
I love it. Oh, that's beautiful.
Okay, well I'll
Thank you, my darling.
You're welcome. I'll hang that up in a minute.
Oh, lovely.
Okay. I think she liked it, do you? Yeah, she was very pleased with it, and here it is hanging up. It was kind of hard to film because the breeze kept blowing the moths in the direction that I didn't want them to be. So you're just getting half the side of them most of the time. But yeah, it looks really, really beautiful in there. I'm really pleased with how it looks. So yeah, there they are. And so let's show you the ones on the other side that my brother made, and they're origami ones. Aren't they great? So now she's got creative gifts from both of her children framing the doorway of her conservatory, and I think it works really well. I think they look great. So I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I hope you've enjoyed meeting my mum. And of course, Honey has to be in on it as well. So there she is. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you've enjoyed the video, and subscribe if you would like to. And I will see you again next time. Thank you for watching, and bye for now.